Oh, what's up? Welcome to the world's stupidest stream. Ain't nothing stupider than this, man. Let me tell you that, Chad. Ain't nothing stupider than this, man. Welcome to the most stupidest stream on the fucking planet of the Earth, man. Holy shit, 177 views since I put Happy Birthday Trump, dude. Holy shit, I gotta put down the title of this stream. Oh my god. Holy shit, dude. Oh my god. Happy birthday, Trump. Trump. Can't leave. Yep. Stupid. That's stupid. Is stupid. But I would have blocked as a thumbnail too. Ban live on stream. On stream, come on, don't ban me yet, dude. Please don't. Okay, good. That's right, massive drug operations. Oh, that's, yeah, they're not growing trees inside, let me tell you that. Ain't no Team Trees, fucking Mr. Beast shit in there, man. Oh my goodness gracious. All American grow ops. Grow operations. Stay where you are, mate. Mate, stay where you are, mate. In it.
An actual goal is trying to get access.
In it, mate.
Ah, here's the grow. This is massive, this.
Mate.
This is insane.
These are the moments when cops uncover hidden drug labs. Starting with cops who found a secret grow operation in a hidden room.
We found the front wall, but we're still gonna need that other door. You have to like crawl through an open space in the wall.
Okay, go on.
Holy.
Massive, this.
In February 2026, officers carried out a raid on an abandoned building in Merton, England after acting on community intelligence and detecting unusual heat signatures using thermal imaging.
Oh.
It didn't take long before they confirmed their suspicions.
Okay. Shit. It's the rape.
Warm, lads. It's warm. Guys, come through here, mate.
Hit it, bruv.
We found the front wall, but we're still gonna need that other door. You have to like crawl through an open space in the wall.
Back on the technique crawling.
Oh, you bloody wanker.
We're still on the upper floor.
Are you taking a piss, mate?
It's gonna be massive, this. Stand by, we've found an actual goal is trying to get access.
After entering the house and clearing the room, officers came across a secret door hidden behind some insulation. What happened next took the case in a completely different direction.
Okay, go on. Watch them wires on the top, mate. This is another little cubby hole. Ah, here's the growth.
C250 freedom. Been here 50 years of freedom.
Massive, this.
Oh, big. It's a long time. A lot of free motherfuckers. Out here.
Hey! Dylan, just steady as you go, mate. We'll not get separated. There's a little that's where all the water and the food is.
A little water. Okay, no water.
It didn't take long before officers stumbled upon a cannabis grow inside the house. But if that seemed like the main discovery, they were about to find something even more shocking.
Dash hope.
Oh. Somewhere. Christ.
Oh, another one on the bottom floor. Huh.
So in here, basically, you've got a number of made corridors. The tents aren't necessarily a norm for some of the cannabis grows we've had of late. They've just been very open, just open rooms. But this one's obviously quite sophisticated, where they've got plants in different ages of growth, so they'll know which ones to go to and which ones to replace.
What they found inside not only confirmed a large-scale drug operation, but also revealed serious safety risks, with bypassed electrical systems that pose a major fire hazard to the surrounding community. Cops found 1,300 cannabis plants with a street value of well over £1 million. It's crazy to think secret homes like this What happens when cops stumble across a secret safe?
Bag theory. Hell yeah, dude. I'll show you a fucking bag theory, dude. You know, I got a bag theory for you, dude. When I used to sell fucking weed, I wouldn't put my grams in 1 gram bag. I'd put them in 2 gram bags so it looked bigger, so I can sell a 0.7 for $10. Yeah, if you put them in the if you put a gram in a fucking 2 gram bag, that's some fucking bag science for you there, dude. That's a profit
Bag
theory.
House where one of the most notorious drug lords is hiding.
You sell like a 0.7 if you just flatten it out and put it in a 2 gram bag. Just fucking squish it down. Put it in a 2 gram bag. It looks fucking bigger than a full gram in a gram bag. It's like an illusion or something. I learned that like grade 8 or something like that.
Guzman wasn't just another criminal. He was the head
That's
of the
fucking
dreaded
bag
Sinaloa
science
cartel,
for you, dude. Or
responsible
bag
for moving
fucking
drugs across borders for
yeah,
years.
probably bag science.
Authorities finally captured him and placed him in a high-security prison, believing his run was over, but even that couldn't hold him for long. Because in a shocking twist on July 11, 2015, he pulled off a daring escape through a tunnel beneath his cell and his trail went cold. Then, on January 8, 2016, Mexican naval forces moved in to raid a house in Los Mochis.
Weed scissors. Oh, here they are. Got some bag theory for you, dog. Hell yeah.
Sinaloa, believed to be
Buy big,
occupied by
sell
one of
high.
Guzman's
Or
top
buy fucking
assassins.
big and sell
But
small
what happened
bags.
next was
Buy
nothing
big bag and sell small bags. Here's a bag theory for you, dog. Buy a big bag, break it down into small bags. Oh, shit, are they getting naded? Holy shit. Okay. Mash him and run in. Hello. I think it's an actual nade. Yeah, there we go. Holy shit. God damn. They don't use flashbangs fucking over there in the middle of fucking east. They're fucking wherever the fuck this is. They use fucking Granada. Is this a new SOCOM game? Arriba, arriba. Man, SOCOM South America looks sick,
During
dude.
the intense gunfight between the cartel and Mexican Marines, officers discovered a hidden tunnel that appeared to serve as an emergency escape
Call
route
of
from the
Duty
house.
South Africa
But that
or
was
South
about to be the least of
America.
their worries.
It's just the fucking U.S. Navy. It's just the fucking U.S. fucking forces versus fucking cartels and shit like that. Arriba. Yeah. I guess you can't fuck around when it comes to the cartel, man. You gotta come full. Holy shit.
Inside the house, officers discovered a mass amount of weapons, including assault rifles, sniper rifles, and even a rocket launcher.
Holy.
During the chaos, Joaquin El Chapo Guzman didn't stay to fight. He escaped through a hidden tunnel beneath the house. The tunnel stretched over a kilometer and led into the city's drainage system, where he later stole a car at gunpoint and tried to flee. Shortly after, he was spotted by Mexican federal police and returned to a maximum security prison. In 2017, Joaquin El Chapo Guzman was extradited to the United States, where he faced multiple federal charges, including drug trafficking, money laundering, and leading a criminal enterprise. After a lengthy trial, he was found guilty on all counts and in 2019 was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. One officer was injured in the deadly raid that forced El Chapo out of hiding. But what happens when police force their way into another cannabis farm operating under some of the most dangerous conditions imaginable?
Police! 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 Stay where you are! Stay where you are! Stay there! Stay where you are! Police! Police! Hands up! Stay where you are!
That way you are, mate. Holy.
On the 21st of March, 2023, officers from Bedfordshire Police and Thames Valley Police executed a warrant at a residential
Yeah,
property.
it's definitely
forcing
fucking
their
somewhere in the UK. Those fucking buildings. That's what their buildings look like. Yeah.
way inside after receiving intelligence about suspected drug activity.
Yep.
Somewhere in England.
Police! Stay where you are! Stay where you are! Stay there! Stay where you are! Police! Hands up! Stay where you are! Police!
Let's say.
Address 2, confirmed cannabis factory.
And it's factory. Wow. Not even a grower,
checking.
just a factory. A bigger factory. Wow. Okay.
Nope.
Oh, factory? Holy, yeah.
Just 2 rooms.
One downstairs as well.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Ah, right. This one's been harvested. Yeah. Only recently, I think.
But just when it looked like this was all the officers would find, the basement held a whole other discovery.
Oh, fields maybe. In Flanders field, the poppies grow. Row by row by row. When Flanders feel the Jamaican ganja blows, bado. Now, ladies. Oh yeah, oh transplants. Oh, that's not bad, boy. That's not bad. You got TV? Yeah. You don't got a hammock, but I kind of see you don't got a hammock, so don't show that back pain, but okay, a kitchen, okay. That's good. Pretty good living arrangements. I'll take that. The bags of cannabis are fucking included, sure.
According to expert police drug witnesses, officers seized a total of 477 cannabis plants with an estimated street value of up to 455,510 pounds. The rooms were filled with hundreds of plants along with grow lights, ventilation systems, and even illegally rerouted electricity from neighboring properties.
You should be to get 2 pounds
A
off
man
the
in his
plant,
40s,
dude.
another in his 30s, and a 19-year-old were arrested on suspicion of producing a
Yeah, well,
Class
it's
B
inside,
controlled
yeah,
drug.
true.
This was yet another
It's not
display of
outside
what
grown.
officers have to endure
Yeah.
when raiding these drug houses. But what happens when we head to the water and authorities discover a hidden drug operation on a moving submarine? On June 18th, 2019, crews with the United States Coast Guard were patrolling international waters in the eastern Pacific Ocean, hundreds of miles off the coast of Colombia and Ecuador, when surveillance spotted a low-profile semi-submersible vessel, commonly known as a narco-submarine, moving quickly across the water. These vessels sit low in the water and are often used by drug traffickers to move large quantities of narcotics. As the Coast Guard cutter Monroe closed in, a high-speed chase began. Officers shouted commands for the crew to stop, but the vessel kept moving. Then, in a split-second decision, one Coast Guardsman did something no one expected.
That's gonna be hard to get on.
I'm Justin, fuck you. Parkour. Oh, it's the U.S. Navy SEALs. Holy shit. If anybody can do it, it's the U.S. Navy SEALs.
In a bold move, an officer jumped onto the moving narco sub and banged on the hatch, ordering those inside to come out. Moments later, the crew surrendered and were taken into custody. A search of the vessel revealed more than 17,000 pounds of cocaine, worth an
Holy.
estimated $232 million.
Holy.
In this case, the vessel was secured and later sunk by authorities, while the suspects were taken away to face prosecution. But what happens when a traffic stop leads cops to discover a drug stash worth millions of dollars in one of the most bizarre places ever, caught on body cam?
Just leave them all right here for now.
Really says that.
That could be anything. Could be fentanyl. Oh my goodness gracious. This is insane.
On March 27, 2025 in Cranston, Rhode Island, officers with the Cranston Police Department conducted what appeared to be a routine traffic stop after noticing the driver wasn't wearing a seatbelt. The driver, later identified as Teddy Lopez, told officers there was only a small amount of marijuana in the vehicle. That admission gave officers probable cause to search the car, and what they uncovered would turn a simple stop into one of the most shocking discoveries the department had ever seen.
Holy.
Look in here, Shane. This is what.
Fully loaded car.
Look right here. Oh, I got it. Look to your, look this way and then over. Look, it's all
Over.
cut out. It's not normal.
Huh.
See it? There's two over here too. Tequila. Definitely. Right? Grab, sir, can you grab me my phone? I want to take a photo, please. I got a photo. Okay. No, I don't need it. I'm going to rip it right off. This is all, so dude, I get up to the car. I'm on, which is fine. I want it, it's fine.
Yeah, chat it off, dude. Whip it
so
off.
I lick it up and I was like, that's not normal. He's got the weed right here to mask the odor of drugs. He's got the air blaster. Yeah, that's good.
Officers noticed something unusual about the armrest on the passenger side door, like it had been tampered with to conceal something. But what they were about to find would take the situation in a completely different direction.
2 for 1, armrest and a stash.
I see 5 right now. And I just need to cut this. Get gloves on. She's his girlfriend? I don't know. She pulled up. I got home. Yeah, can you hold that like that?
I got both.
I'm just really trying to grab these.
We'll just leave them in there. Well, actually, you already got a picture of them? Want to get another phone?
Yeah, I got some. We just need this.
My hands are small.
Yeah, not because it's getting in the way.
Right there. Give me one good pull back now.
Oh, baby.
One more. Hang on.
Oh. Yeah. All right, I got it. All right, watch your hands. I have them. All right, move that. Look out. Oh, yeah. It's worth it. Yeah.
Let's take off the door fucking fielding.
That could be anything. Could be Petco. Oh my goodness gracious.
Even without a
Oh
K9,
my
officers
God.
know exactly what to look for when something isn't right. And this stop was about to uncover an amount of drugs you've never seen on body camera.
My goodness gracious. This is insane. They coming, keep coming, baby. Keep coming. Holy.
Can I see a flashlight? Oh, please.
Oh, dude.
Oh, who?
That door's like a fucking secret to hold a fucking black hole.
This whole fender's loaded.
You gotta find it out.
This whole fender's loaded. Hold on, let me do my thing before we get down the valve, please. This has nothing to do with them at the moment.
Yeah, it does, dude. We can do the job before you get poisoned by
Give me a little
fentanyl.
bit of time here.
You greedy fucking... He wants to steal one for himself.
Friend.
Oh, what's up, Doc? Where the hell have you been, dude?
I've seen that video.
Alright, your hands behind your back. You're under arrest, okay?
What started as a routine
I got
traffic
Doom
stop
Pet
quickly
today,
turned
just
into a
been
major
playing a
drug
tiny
bust
bit,
as
also
officers
golfing, and
uncovered a
Soccer
large
World
stash
Cup
of
is
drugs,
going.
including cocaine,
Cup is in
fentanyl,
Toronto,
and cannabis,
dude.
valued
That's
at
where I
over
live.
$185,000. Lopez was taken into
Yeah.
custody and later charged with possession of cocaine over 1 kilogram with intent to deliver, possession of Schedule
How
2
you did? Did
narcotics,
you
and
hear
possession
fucking
of
tonight,
marijuana
dude?
with intent to
Oh,
deliver.
1 hour!
His
Donald Trump's fucking hosting a cage fight for the fucking for his birthday tonight on the fucking White House lawn. There's going to be a fucking UFC cage fight for the 250th year anniversary of the
What?
Declaration of
Haha,
Independence.
sick.
Independence and Donald Trump's birthday. It starts in an hour. I'm probably going to stream it on Discord. Oh yeah. UFC on the White House lawn.
The case is currently moving through the court system as prosecutors continue building their case. Finding over $385,000 worth of drugs in a car is insane. But what happens when officers discover drugs hidden inside a furniture shop?
Oh.
On August 21st, 2023, officers with Essex Police were led to a second-hand furniture shop in Clacton-on-Sea following intelligence that drugs were being supplied from the area. At first glance, the shop on Old Road appeared completely normal until they conducted a quick search.
Kebab and pizza, Dylan too.
21st of July, 2023,
Ain't it, mate?
25, and we're assisting with a Section 18 warrant at Simmons and Son in Old Road in Clacton. Big bag of cannabis.
Got him. Again. Yeah, UFC on the White House lawn in an hour.
Upon searching the property, they quickly confirmed their suspicions after discovering hidden quantities of contraband.
The ultimate
But what they were about
fuckboy
to uncover next
championship.
would be far more troubling.
Let's get fucking. The ultimate fuckboy championship. Let's fuck.
Powder, cloak.
No? Or that's not their motto, something like that, or let's get fucked, or let's fuck, or something like that. The ultimate fuckboy championship.
We can't see the door into this box now. They're not these.
They're all the same? Yeah, they all say the same.
Right, if you wanna... Right.
Take a seat there, Matt. Nice.
Hidden across the premises were significant quantities of cocaine, cannabis, amphetamines, and counterfeit tobacco products, all pointing to an active drug supply operation being run behind the scenes. Investigators soon linked the operation to Darren Simmons, who was identified as the main supplier, and his son, Charlie Simmons, who played a role in distributing cocaine. As the investigation expanded, officers carried out further searches at linked addresses and uncovered even more drugs, including large quantities hidden inside a wardrobe at a home in Jaywick. In total, authorities found drugs worth well.
Love drugs, man. I did coke last Friday.
Did you boo for that list too? Craziest conspiracy theories that turned out true. Did you boo for that list, Doc?
A top-secret military program recruited people with impossible abilities. A scientist discovered something toxic in a product used by millions of Americans. People who suspected these things were just laughed at. Then the truth was revealed. These are insane conspiracy theories that turned out true. Awesome. The psychic spy conspiracy. Most wars are won with weapons, soldiers, and strategy. But in the 1970s, the US military tried to use human superpowers to fight a war. They secretly recruited psychics and fortune tellers. People who heard the rumors didn't believe it. But years later, declassified documents revealed everything. Here's how it started. In the early 1970s, the CIA was worried about the Soviet Union. Reports claimed the Soviets were spending millions of dollars studying psychic powers. They wanted to build a team of psychics that could see what Americans were doing from hundreds of miles away. The idea sounded impossible, but the US government couldn't ignore even the smallest threat.
Watch Donald Trump be on a fucking throne. Like it's Gladiator. Like it's a Gladiator fight. Him and Melania's on a fucking giant ass throne.
They had psychic abilities. The most promising candidates were brought to a secret location in Maryland. Their first task was simple. They needed to prove that they were really psychic. Each candidate was locked in a room and given a series of tests. In one test, a researcher secretly looked at a picture. The psychic then had to read
I thought you already had an Iron Man. You're gonna make another one?
Image they were thinking about.
On the left side of the page, you see the original target.
Fuck
And on
that,
the
dude.
right, Geller's response.
Green Cube's already grindy enough. I'm not trying to make it fucking 100 times grindier.
Close.
Fuck that.
In fact, this is the
I try to have fun, not fucking
drawings that he did.
make it
Some
fucking
candidates passed
tons
the
and
test.
tons
They were
worse.
ready for their first psychic spy mission. The psychics were given the coordinates of specific locations. Then they were asked to describe what was happening there. They called it remote viewing. Once they started talking, the researchers were stunned. It seemed that a lot of their information was quite accurate.
We were finding information that saved lives that couldn't be found in any other way, not even through spy-in-the-sky satellites or ground agents.
Some psychics could reportedly see into Soviet military bases. Their descriptions were incredibly detailed. No one could explain how they were supernaturally seeing these things, but those running the program were satisfied. Over the years, more than 20 psychics were employed. They took part in high-level intelligence missions, but the entire program stayed top secret. Then in 1979, Project Stargate was given its biggest challenge. That year, a Soviet plane crashed somewhere in the jungles of Central Africa. The aircraft was full of secret codes and valuable technology. Americans wanted to find it before the Soviets did. Recovering it would give the US a huge advantage in the war. For weeks, US satellites scanned the area, but the jungle was so thick they found nothing. The clock was running out. The US was desperate, so they turned to Project Stargate for help.
Psychics.
For this mission, they chose a psychic named Rosemary Smith. Rosemary was handed a map of Africa and asked to find the fallen plane. They gave her no other information. According to those in the room, Rosemary went into a trance. After a few minutes, she pointed to a spot on the map. Then she gave them exact coordinates. When the military focused its satellite cameras on that location, they found the plane, right where she said it would be. The US government was impressed, but there was no public celebration. The military wanted the psychic program to remain secret. Then someone opened their mouth and ruined everything. Somehow, an investigative reporter named Jack Anderson found out about Project Stargate. So he published a series of articles exposing it. He revealed how the psychics supposedly helped locate enemy submarines and planes. He also claimed they helped catch a spy. The news spread across the country, but instead of panic or outrage, people just laughed it off. The public simply didn't believe it. The government also denied everything. The Department of Defense claimed no money was spent for ESP or whatever sort of label you want to put on those programs. The story was treated like a conspiracy theory. Eventually, it was forgotten. Then in 1995, the truth finally came out. Some CIA documents were declassified, and they confirmed that the Stargate project was real. The CIA even admitted it. Not long after that, the program was shut down. But the reason surprised people. The government claimed the psychics were unreliable. In other words, it seemed their information was wrong most of the time. The program turned out to be true. But the question is, did these psychics just get lucky? This next chapter is about a theory that the government was actually killing thousands of its own citizens purposely. The poisoned alcohol conspiracy. In the 1920s, a terrifying conspiracy theory spread across America. A doctor claimed the government was poisoning alcohol to kill citizens. But if that was true, the question is why? In 1920, the United States government banned the sale and production of alcohol. The law became known as prohibition. Lawmakers believed alcohol was destroying American society. They thought banning it would reduce crime, improve families, and clean up the country.
If they could ban it, all of America's problems would definitely 100% without a doubt be completely and totally solved.
Police raided warehouses and smashed barrels of alcohol. But almost immediately, the law failed. People didn't stop drinking. They just started drinking in secret.
Almost overnight, a whole underground economy sprang up dedicated to smuggling and selling alcohol. If anything, alcohol consumption became more widespread as people sought to outwit the law.
Bootleggers needed huge amounts of alcohol to keep up with demand, so they came up with a dangerous idea. They would turn industrial alcohol into drinking alcohol. Industrial alcohol was used in paint, cleaning products, and medical supplies. It was never meant to be consumed because it contained harmful chemicals, but that didn't stop them. Some people filtered industrial alcohol, bottled it, and secretly sold it in bars. As demand grew, thieves started breaking into factories. They stole entire barrels of industrial alcohol and pushed it into the black market. The government knew this was happening, but they couldn't stop the theft. So they decided to make this stolen alcohol undrinkable. The government sent a secret order to industrial alcohol makers. They told them to add deadly poisons to every batch.
There was already some methanol in most industrial alcohol formulations, but the government added more, a lot more, to the point where it was sometimes 10% of the entire product.
People kept stealing industrial alcohol from factories, only now it was poison, and they had no idea. It was bottled and sold across the country. Before long, there was a national disaster. On Christmas Eve, 1926, 60 people were rushed to the hospital. They all drank toxic holiday liquor. 8 of them passed away before Christmas morning, and the crisis only got worse. Christmas alcohol was everywhere. In New York City alone, over 1,200 people became seriously sick. Around 400 of them passed away.
Victims would fall into a coma,
killing
and death
drinkers.
often followed. The lucky ones, if you could call them that, would lose their sight, but at least they'd survive.
No one knew what was causing this sudden medical crisis, but one doctor was determined to figure it out. Charles Norris was the chief medical examiner of New York City. He watched these bodies pile up, and he figured out what was happening. He noticed that the victims all had one thing in common. They had been drinking. So the poison likely came from alcohol. But bootleggers wanted repeat customers. They wouldn't poison loyal buyers. So if bootleggers were not doing it on purpose, who was? To Norris, the answer was obvious. Norris called a press conference. Then he accused the government of poisoning alcohol.
But it wasn't a virulent flu or poorly chosen mushrooms that caused their deaths. It was alcohol that had been poisoned by the U.S. government.
The chemicals
which sounds like a conspiracy theory, but it's the truth.
Norris called it a national experiment in extermination. He also said the government must be held responsible for the deaths that poisoned liquor causes. Almost immediately, the government dismissed it as a conspiracy theory, but a few people believed it. It became a debate. Those who supported prohibition said alcohol was illegal, so anyone who drank it was breaking the law and deserved whatever happened. Others could not believe their own government would poison citizens. The idea sounded too extreme. Norris needed undeniable proof, and he knew exactly how to get it. Norris contacted Alexander Gettler. Gettler was the chief toxicologist for New York City. Gettler analyzed the bodies arriving at the morgue. Then he carefully tested samples taken from confiscated alcohol. The alcohol contained massive amounts of methanol, also known as wood alcohol. Consuming methanol would destroy the nervous system and cause blindness, and it could end lives slowly and painfully. Now Norris and Gettler had proof of the government's poisoning program. They published their findings. Newspapers across the country reported the story. The public was outraged. The conspiracy theory was true all along. But even after the evidence came out, the poisoning program did not stop. Incredibly, the government admitted it and even doubled down on it. Officials announced that they would add even more toxic chemicals like benzene. They wanted the fear of death to scare Americans into obeying prohibition laws. But it didn't work. People still kept drinking, and many of them didn't survive. In December 1933, prohibition officially came to an end. Alcohol was no longer illegal. It was estimated that about 10,000 Americans passed away from these poison drinks. The whole program worked because people trusted what they were given. Nobody even questioned what was actually inside. The government counted on that. This next conspiracy involves a plot to assassinate a world leader, and it failed because of one stupid mistake. The Mafia hit conspiracy. In the late 1960s, an investigative journalist made a shocking claim. He said the CIA hired American mafia to assassinate a world leader. The idea of the CIA working with gangsters seemed impossible. Then the evidence started coming out, and people realized it was far worse than they thought. In 1959, a revolutionary named Fidel Castro took power in Cuba.
Havana's ovation for Fidel Castro himself had been long deferred. These scenes show his triumphal march across the island to the capital following the victory.
The U.S. government hated what Castro stood for. They wanted him gone. But Castro was heavily guarded. He already survived multiple assassination attempts. If the CIA wanted to reach Castro, they needed something he would never expect. They felt like they needed a gangster-type action. So the CIA reached out to the American mafia. Luckily for them, the mafia had its own reason to hate Castro. Before Castro took power, the mob controlled the many casinos in Cuba. They made millions of dollars. But when Castro took over, he shut down the casinos and kicked the mob out. The mafia lost a fortune fortune, so the CIA and the Mafia had a common enemy. And in 1960, they joined forces to destroy him. A CIA agent had a meeting with a Las Vegas mobster. The offer was simple. The CIA would pay the Mafia $150,000 to eliminate Castro. But the Mafia hated Castro so much that they insisted on taking the job for free. Later that year, the CIA and Mafia secretly met again. This time, they discussed exactly how they would do it. The CIA wanted to use a firearm, but Castro was heavily guarded at all times. No gunman could get close enough to pull the trigger and escape. So the Mafia suggested a quieter solution. They would use some type of potent pill that could be placed in Castro's food or drink. The CIA agreed. They returned to the lab to create the poison. Soon, they developed 6 pills filled with lethal toxins. Once they were slipped into Castro's drink, the pills would dissolve instantly, and they worked very fast. Castro's demise would look like a sudden natural illness. The CIA handed the pills over to the Mafia. The Mafia passed them to a Cuban official with access to Castro's food. The plan was in motion. The Cuban official placed the pills inside a freezer for safekeeping. He picked a time and day. All he had to do was slip the pills into Castro's chocolate milkshake. But at the last minute, the man chosen for the job made a stupid mistake.
When the would-be assassin went to retrieve the poisoned capsule from the freezer where he had hidden it, he found it frozen to the wall. His attempts to free the capsule caused it to rupture, scuppering the assassination attempts.
The pills were ruined. With no poison left to use, he called off the mission. After that, the Mafia searched for someone else who could get close to Castro's food. But every plan failed before it could happen. In 1961, the assassination plan was officially abandoned. The CIA and Mafia quietly went their separate ways. They believed the secret would be buried forever, but it didn't. Years later, an investigative journalist learned about the operation, and he published an expose in the newspaper. The CIA denied everything, but the truth was going to come out one way or another. In 1975, the CIA was accused of carrying out illegal activities, so the government set up a committee to investigate.
The United States must not adopt the tactics of the enemy. Means are as important as ends.
The investigation uncovered files that confirmed the CIA worked with the Mafia. The story became front-page news. According to the files, the CIA met with 2 mob bosses during the negotiations. One was Chicago mob boss Sam Giancana. The other was Las Vegas mobster Johnny Rosselli. The committee called Sam Giancana to testify, but he never made it to the hearing. On June 19th, 1975, just days before his testimony, Giancana was found lifeless. He was assassinated in his home in Illinois. The timing was incredibly suspicious, but the committee moved on to its next witness, Johnny Rosselli. Thankfully, Rosselli managed to testify.
Rosselli was fully cooperative. For 2.5 hours, he told of plotting with the CIA starting in 1960 to try to kill Castro.
He told them about the meetings and the poison pills, everything. But speaking out was a fatal mistake. Shortly after his testimony, Rosselli disappeared. He was later found lifeless floating off the coast of Florida. But the truth was already out. Everyone knew the CIA secretly partnered with the Mafia. Decades later, in 2007, more CIA documents were declassified. The files laid out the operation piece by piece. In our next chapter, a group of researchers ran a routine test and accidentally uncovered one of the biggest scandals in history: the toxic car conspiracy. Volkswagen looked like a company helping the planet. They claimed their cars released low emissions, making them better for the environment. Customers believed the message, but some researchers suspected it was all a lie. They believed Volkswagen cars were destroying the environment by releasing far more pollution than the company admitted. When they spoke up, nobody listened, so they went looking for proof. In 2013, a group of researchers decided to test Volkswagen's diesel cars. Volkswagen marketed those cars as clean diesel vehicles with low emissions. Here's one of their commercials.
Diesel in Latin means dirty. I'll prove it to you. You're gonna ruin your scarf. Oh, look what she's doing. See how clean it is?
The researchers took a Volkswagen Jetta to the lab and started their tests. It was a routine test.
Volkswagen Jetta diesel.
In the lab, the results were perfect. The car's emissions were low. Everything looked exactly how Volkswagen said it would. Then, the researchers took the car into the highway. That's when everything went wrong. On the road, the Jetta released emissions up to 40 times the legal limit. That meant it was more toxic than most cars on the road. The researchers were shocked because they tested the same car car in the lab, and in the lab the emissions were low, but on the road it acted like a completely different car. The researchers double-checked their equipment by testing a BMW. The BMW's emissions stayed the same in the lab and on the road, but every time they tested a Volkswagen, the numbers changed. The cars seemed to lower their emissions in the lab, then they seemed to raise them again on the road. There was only one explanation. Volkswagen somehow found a way to cheat the emissions test. The researchers dug deeper to understand how it worked. When they studied the car's software, they found what's known as a defeat device. This device could detect when the car was sitting still on a lab roller. Then it automatically reduced the car's emissions so it would pass the test. But once the car hit the road, it switched to normal mode, and the car released more pollution into the air. The researchers published their findings in May 2014. They accused Volkswagen of cheating emissions tests and lying to consumers. That scandal could have ruined the company. So Volkswagen replied immediately. But instead of admitting the problem, the company blamed the researchers for making mistakes.
They took exception with our testing, with the way we approached it, with the conditions that we used.
For over a year, Volkswagen refused to admit anything was wrong. They insisted that their cars were environmentally friendly, but the researchers refused to back down.
And we said, fine, we're going to do it again. And we did it again and came with the same results.
This time they sent the results to the Environmental Protection Agency. The EPA reviewed it carefully. Then the EPA made a massive decision. They refused to approve Volkswagen's 2016 models for sale in the US. The executives at Volkswagen now had a choice: lose their entire American market or confess. On September 3rd, 2015, Volkswagen executives finally admitted the truth. The company installed software on its cars to cheat emissions tests.
Today, the company said it would recall 11 million diesel cars worldwide after admitting they had been rigged to cheat emissions tests.
For years, those cars pumped high levels of pollution into the air, and the whole time, Volkswagen claimed it was making clean, low-emission cars. It was a global scandal. Volkswagen's CEO issued a public apology.
We are very sorry to have broken your trust. I think what they meant is we're very sorry to have lied to you.
During another speech, the CEO admitted to lying to authorities.
So let's be clear about this. Our company was dishonest with the EPA and the California Air Resources Board.
He eventually resigned. The company pleaded guilty to criminal charges. They paid over $30 billion in fines. It was one of the largest penalties ever handed to a car company. In the end, millions of people learned the truth. The car company they trusted was lying to them. Our next chapter is about a weapon the CIA built that could kill anyone, anywhere, and make it look completely natural. The heart attack
$30 billion?
conspiracy.
That's a nice
For
retirement.
years, people claimed the CIA had a weapon that could give anyone a heart attack. All they had to do was point and pull the trigger. It was dismissed as a paranoid conspiracy theory. Later, the truth came out in the most shocking way. The heart attack gun was displayed on live TV for the whole world to see. In the early 1970s, the CIA had a problem. They wanted to eliminate people they considered threats, but they needed a method that could not be traced back to them. However, every option left evidence. A bullet could be traced. Poison could show up during an autopsy. They needed something cleaner, so they turned to a young CIA researcher named Mary Embry. Mary's bosses gave her one assignment.
They wanted me to find out if there was such a thing as a poison that was undetectable, especially one that seemed to mimic a heart attack.
They wanted a poison that left no trace. Even during an autopsy, Mary got to work. She tested dozens of toxins. Eventually, she found what she was looking for: shellfish toxin. In concentrated doses, it could shut down the human heart. And even better for the CIA, it could disappear from the body. The CIA took Mary's discovery and built a weapon around it. They froze the toxin into a tiny dart made of ice. Then they loaded that dart into a modified pistol. The gun made almost no sound when fired. When the dart hit someone, it felt like an insect bite. Most people would ignore that sensation, but inside the body, the damage would start instantly. The dart would melt, releasing the shellfish toxin into the bloodstream. The victim would experience a massive heart attack, and that would be the end. When doctors performed an autopsy, they would find no strange substances, just a tiny red dot where the dart entered the skin. Nobody would think much of it. The death would be listed as natural causes. The CIA now had an untraceable weapon, and they could take out anyone they wanted. It's not clear how many times the heart attack gun was used, but one thing is certain: the CIA stockpiled large amounts of shellfish toxins and hid them in a lab. The shellfish toxin was the untraceable poison used in the gun. Over the years, things changed. In the mid-1970s, the CIA came under investigation. Congress heard reports that the agency was involved in illegal activities, so they formed a committee to investigate the CIA. Senator Frank Church led the probe. He and his team found a stockpile of weapons and toxins inside CIA labs and warehouses. One of those weapons was the heart attack gun. Eventually, the CIA director was invited before a congressional committee to answer questions. The hearing was broadcast on live TV. During the questioning, the pistol was held up for the entire country to see. The CIA director was asked about the weapon.
Does this pistol fire the dart?
Yes, it does, Mr. Chairman, and a special one was developed.
The country was shocked, and conspiracy theories were thrilled. There it was, proof that the CIA developed an illegal, untraceable assassination weapon. But one question has never been answered. Was it ever actually used successfully? The CIA never said, and they likely never will. Our next chapter raises a question. How much of what the news tells you is actually true? The CIA news conspiracy. The news is supposed to tell the truth, but people believe the government was secretly controlling the news that people heard.
Plug in this phone.
And they believed that certain journalists were actually government agents hired to push certain narratives and bury others. The government called it a conspiracy theory, but evidence began to show. It started with a student organization. In February 1967, it was revealed that the largest student group in the US was funded and run by the CIA. On the surface, the group looked independent. It presented itself as a friendly voice for young Americans, but behind the scenes, the CIA was quietly paying it to spread government propaganda to students. The agency also used students as spies. They were told to collect information from foreigners and pass it back to the CIA. The New York Times put the story on the front page. This revelation encouraged reporters to dig deeper. They wanted to find all the ways the CIA was secretly influencing the public, and then they stumbled onto something much bigger than they expected. In 1975, the New York Times suspected that some news reporters were secretly working with the CIA. When they investigated, they found out they were right. They discovered the CIA had a network of journalists inside major American newspapers and TV networks. The head of the CIA was called before Congress to answer for it. He admitted part of it was true.
We do have people who submit pieces to American journals.
Some journalists also admitted that the CIA contacted them to spread certain stories.
We had been contacted by the CIA. As a matter of fact, by the time I became the head of the whole News and Public Affairs operation in 1954, ships had been established.
Congress identified over 50 active journalists on the CIA payroll, but the actual number was much larger. In 1977, another investigation revealed that over 400 American journalists carried out assignments for the CIA over a period of 25 years. These weren't small-time writers. They were evening news anchors, award-winning reporters, and Pulitzer Prize winners, people who ordinary Americans trusted deeply. CIA documents also revealed the agency could plant fake stories in foreign newspapers, and those same stories could be picked up by American media and reported it as real news.
This would mean that the CIA could manipulate
the news in the United States.
But nobody believes the
channeling
fucking
it
shit on the
through
news,
some
dude.
form of
Everyone
The
knows.
CIA was essentially
Take that shit with a
writing
grain
the
of
news.
salt,
It was
man.
such a big scandal that the president got involved. In 1977, a presidential order banned the CIA from using journalists. The message to the public was clear. It was over. It would not happen again. But not everyone believed that. Almost 20 years passed. In February 1996, a new CIA director appeared before a Senate committee. He was there to discuss threats to U.S. information systems. A senator asked him a direct question. Would the CIA promise to never recruit journalists again? The CIA director could not say yes. Instead, he gave an answer with a loophole.
The policy says that we will not use journalists except under American journalists, except under very, very rare circumstances.
That meant the CIA could still recruit reporters to shake the news, as long as they felt
Very,
it was
very
justified.
rare.
It's a disturbing reality, especially because the news could be lying to you right now. Our next chapter is about a poison that every single American was breathing and almost no one knew.
COVID-19.
The ethyl conspiracy.
Shit.
In the 1950s, a scientist made a disturbing discovery. The average American had massive amounts of lead inside their body. Some people thought it was normal, but the scientist felt something far more dangerous was happening. He believed giant corporations were knowingly polluting air with toxic lead. But when he tried warning the public, those billion-dollar companies tried to ruin his life. The story began in the 1920s. Car companies discovered that adding lead to gasoline made engines run smoother. They called the new leaded gas ethyl. Car owners loved it. Selling ethyl was incredibly profitable, but there was a serious problem. Lead was toxic. In fact, lead was so toxic that workers in the leaded gas factories suffered hallucinations. Some even passed away from lead poisoning. Lead particles could spread through the air. Simply breathing too much could make people very sick. But the companies did not want to stop producing leaded gasoline. The business was making far too much money, so they refused to accept that lead was poisoning workers.
They knew that it was harmful. They tried to say that that didn't matter. They tried to blame the workers who got sick in their factories.
There was an even bigger issue. Cars using leaded gasoline released fumes that contained the lead. Those fumes dissolved into the air, and anyone who breathed that air also breathed in tiny amounts of lead. The car companies knew this could scare the public, so they tried to control the narrative. They wanted Americans to believe lead was safe. To do that, they hired scientists to defend lead. These scientists told the public that lead was naturally found inside the human body. They claimed that this proved it was safe. Most Americans believed it, and because of that, millions of people inhaled leaded gasoline fumes every single day without realizing the danger. But one scientist was about to uncover the truth. In the 1950s, Claire Patterson was a geochemist at the California Institute of Technology. He was trying to calculate the exact age of the Earth by studying ancient rocks, but he kept running into a strange problem. Every sample he tested was contaminated with lead. There was lead in the air, lead in the dust, lead in the rocks, lead everywhere. The contamination was impossible to ignore. Where was all this lead coming from? Then Patterson made another discovery. Americans had 100 times more lead in their blood than ancient humans. Somehow this toxic chemical was almost everywhere in America. Patterson decided to go public. In 1965, he published a scientific paper explaining his findings. He made one thing very clear. Lead was dangerous to humans, and they needed to do everything to reduce lead contamination. The companies making billions from lead didn't like that. He was ruining their business, so they went after Patterson personally. First, they tried to destroy his career.
Eventually, a VP of an oil company who's a trustee at Caltech calls the president and asks for him to be fired.
Patterson's research funding was cut off. He was blocked from government meetings where environmental decisions were made. Patterson was smeared in the media. They painted him as a conspiracy theorist spreading science fiction. At the same time, the companies hired scientists to travel around the country claiming lead was harmless. For a while, it seemed they won. But they still wanted Patterson on their side, so the lead industry offered him research funding if he stopped criticizing them. It was basically a bribe, but Patterson refused to back down. He kept collecting evidence, he kept speaking out, and eventually Patterson got his moment. In 1966, Patterson testified before the U.S. Senate. He arrived with overwhelming evidence. He showed the Senate the data from ancient ice cores. He explained how the ice from thousands of years ago was completely clean, while modern snow was 200% more toxic. He explained how lead damaged the human brain and nervous system, and how it caused learning disabilities in children and violent behavior in adults. Again and again, Patterson proved lead pollution was man-made, and it was poisoning everyone from factory workers to school kids. His conclusion was clear. The amount of lead in the air skyrocketed after leaded gasoline was introduced. This time, the government listened. They began restricting leaded gasoline. By 1996, the use of leaded gasoline for vehicles was banned in the US, and the results were impossible to ignore. After the ban, lead levels in Americans' blood dropped by 78%. The companies profiting from leaded gasoline knew the dangers from the beginning, but they chose profits over public safety. And one man fought a billion-dollar industry to save the health of a nation. So the next time you go to a gas station and see the word unleaded, now you know.
Yeah.
My friends, the most dangerous thing you can do is trust blindly. Always do.
They don't want it says unleaded. Okay. Okay. You don't want your community bringing in fucking lead. Trump claims historic U.S. and Iran peace deal reached. Oh, it's a fucking video wall? Holy shit, dude. God damn, that's a massive video wall. U.S. and Iran have agreed to framework for a peace agreement, Pakistan says. What the fuck does Pakistan have to do with it? What the fuck? What does Pakistan have to do with it, dude? Okay, sweet. Thanks, Pakistan. Thanks for letting us know, man. So, Upstate steals police car with K9 inside? Holy shit.
On May 13th, 2023, a K9 officer responded to a reported burglary in progress at an Amscot location in Winter Haven, Florida.
Did he leave? Pfizer, he left already. Did you see which way he went? White guy, black guy? What was he wearing? Pfizer, he left. Wearing a gray t-shirt. So black male, gray t-shirt, possibly black shorts. Did he leave on foot?
Yeah, he had to. He looked like he was on drugs.
Okay. He went this way?
Yeah, hopefully with some driving.
What are you doing?
I just told the police car. Got this no clue.
Where's that? 580, my car was stolen. Track my car. Tell us where it's at.
There's no dashcam footage, but officers are quickly alerted that the stolen squad cruiser has been involved in a multi-vehicle crash.
Turn over. Turn it over, mother. Turn it over. Handcuff. Handcuff.
You ain't got the beat on nothing. The video ain't Where's the car?
Logan's over there. Go get my dog. I got you.
Go.
You can watch all you want, man. Everybody slow down. We got him. Somebody go to my car, get my dog. Yeah, get your dog. We got him. Stand up, man. Legs up. You ready to get him up? Yeah. One. Nobody hit him, ma'am. Thank you very much. Watch out behind you. Mine is right there in the corner. I'm about to put him in my car. It's right there. Up against. Anything on you to stick me, poke me, hug me, baby? No, sir. No, sir. No, sir. No, sir.
Are we okay? You sure? You okay?
I think everybody's good.
Are you okay? What's wrong? What hurts? Nothing hurts. Okay. Yes, ma'am. Deep breath in.
I'm sorry. I'm EMT myself. No, you're not,
okay.
dude. You're having a fucking panic attack this easy, dude. You're not an EMT.
Alright, so what can we do? Involved in the crash. I know we have
You don't work anywhere near a fucking emergency. If you get scared that you're having a panic attack. What the fuck?
You have your ID? Yeah. So what happened?
So
I was sitting at the light. I hear sirens, but I
The
was just
fuck,
sitting
dude?
at the stoplight.
What kind of lie is that, dude? You always don't believe that. No, I know the panic attack. I'm an EMT.
But it was the guy who stole the cop car. And then he hit that person.
I saw someone's car get hit.
I think I hit whoever was in front of me. I hit a little bit because he like hit me and then he kept going.
Oh yeah, so were you turning here?
Yes, I was about to. I was waiting for the light. It was red and he just randomly.
Oh, he rammed you and you ended up over here.
Yeah, I came over here because he stopped too. So I was like, what the heck just happened?
Are you injured at all?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. What am I supposed to do?
Just hang tight with us. The guy that they had in handcuffs over there, that's the guy who you saw run out the car.
Yes.
After. You have your shirts and registration. I don't need this. That's okay.
Oh, what the heck? I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
I'm all...
No, you're not in shot.
Hey, look at me. Deep breath, deep breath. Deep breath. In through your nose, out through your mouth. All right, and husband's on the phone? Yeah. All right.
Are you injured anywhere?
Hi, this is Officer Pigeon. I'm here with your wife.
It's a pigeon.
Yes. She's good. She's breathing. She's just a little worked up, and we've got her.
Did a panic attack because you saw a car crash?
Yes, sir.
Are you husband? Yeah.
Okay. They're just taking her to Winter Haven Hospital. If you want to just say hello, so she knows you're here, and then we can follow them up here.
Oh, it's another person that got in a car
All
crash.
right. Natasha, husband's here. So she's okay.
Put him on the car. Let me tell you good again, mess up.
Huh.
All right, take a seat. Watch your hands, okay? Watch your hands.
Yeah, he broke through my window. He's fine.
Oh, neat. Okay. There's a little bowl back there.
Back at the Amscott location, officers go to collect statements from the cashiers.
Was it just you two working? Okay.
Y'all okay?
I know you probably shook enough.
That's okay.
As long as you guys are safe.
That's okay.
That's all that
I
matters.
cry every day when I get home, honestly.
Do you guys prefer being here? You want to come out here?
You guys can come back. They said they gave us permission to let you guys come.
Just talk me through what happened tonight.
Okay, I was doing my closing procedures out in the lobby, and I was finishing mopping, and as I was leaving, I heard a knock on the door, and usually customers do that, and then they realize we're closed, and they usually walk away. But then he aggressively knocked, and that stood out to me because usually I don't have that happen. So I entered and I let my leader know that, this guy was knocking aggressively, and then I was going on about my closing procedures, and I dumped out my mop bucket, and then I heard my leader yell out of nowhere, and then I come out and I'm confused, and then I just see a random customer come in, and I'm thinking like, oh, he got the
Your
door
boss?
open, but I didn't see the glass, and I
Your
didn't
leader?
hear the glass either. I was pouring my bucket out, and then I left one of our doors unlocked, so I ran to lock that one real quick, and then we stood down and he threw the rock at our window 11, and then we ducked down and called 911.
Do you have a driver's license at all, buddy?
No, sir, I can get my driver's license.
Yeah, but do you still have the ID card you gave me the one time or no?
I got his boys.
Which one's too tight?
Both of them.
Both of them?
Yes, sir.
Did we ever get the...
I don't know.
Let's probably do that too, if it can come out. I thought by now they would have been able to see him, but it's a little busier than expected.
You still feel pinches right here? Yes, sir.
Is that better?
Yes, sir.
The suspect, later identified as 20-year-old Menulek Jarrett, was later transported and booked into Polk County Jail, where he was held without bond. He was
Mr.
charged
Menulek.
with 1 count of business burglary, 1
Oh, man. Sick video, huh? 5 animals that have only been seen once? What the fuck?
What if you discovered a species for the very first time and then it just vanished forever, never to be seen again? Creatures so rare, the only proof they existed is a single specimen, from single sightings in remote jungles to 16
Yeah, a fucking fossil.
Today, we're diving into 5 more animals that have only been seen once, starting with the spade-toothed whale. A full-sized whale, something that grows to around 16 or 17 feet long, and no one has ever seen one alive. Everything we know about this animal comes from individuals that have washed up dead on beaches. And get this, there have only been about 7 confirmed specimens ever found to date. And these specimens have mostly been turning up around New Zealand and one all the way over in Chile. The very first record goes all the way back to 1872, when someone found a lower jaw on a remote island. And even then, scientists didn't realize what they had, since they thought it belonged to a completely different species of whale. Then, over the course of a few years, more and more bones started washing up on the beaches around New Zealand, and it wasn't until scientists actually ran DNA tests that they realized all of these remains belonged to the same species, a whale that no one had ever seen in the flesh. And then, in 2010, something crazy happened, when a mother and calf washed up dead on a beach in New Zealand. It was only then when DNA testing came back and confirmed those were spade-toothed whales. Scientists literally had the animal and didn't even know what it was. Now, in terms of what the cetacean actually looks like, it's got that classic beaked whale shape that's built for deep diving. But the weirdest part are the teeth. The males have these huge spade-shaped teeth that stick out from the lower jaw, hence its namesake, and they can get to around 9 inches long. Scientists believe that these whales use these teeth for fighting other males down in the depths, which is just crazy to think about. And speaking of deep, that's probably the reason we've never seen one alive. Beaked whales are some of the best divers on the planet. They can stay underwater for hours and dive to depths of nearly 10,000 feet, which is almost like 2 miles down in complete pitch black darkness. So if the species spends most of its life down there, well, then it makes perfect sense why we've never seen one alive. The most recent specimen, found just 2 years ago, was the first time scientists could properly study a fresh, intact specimen. And even then, they were still figuring things out. When they dissected it, the scientists found things like 9 separate stomachs with squid beaks inside, which all pointed to the whale being a deep-sea hunter. But still, they were still left with no real answers about how this whale actually lives. And that's what makes this so crazy. We're not talking about some tiny fish or insect. This is a massive whale, and we still know almost nothing about it. So, with so little sightings, the question is it still out there? Well, 100%, since they are such cryptic deep-water animals living so deep, and the fact that they're quite intelligent animals, I'm fairly certain that somewhere in the deep South Pacific, there's probably a whole population of these things just living their lives completely unnoticed. And until the day we finally see one alive, the spade-toothed whale remains a whale we've only ever seen after it was already dead. Next up, a shark that looks more like a stingray and might be one of the rarest sharks on Earth. Meet the Philippines angel shark. Now, angel sharks are already some of the most alien sharks in the world. They've got these flattened pancake-like bodies with massive wing-like pectoral fins that make them look more like rays than sharks. They hunt by sitting still rather than endlessly moving, and suction prey into their huge mouths with razor-sharp teeth. It's this sitting and hiding in the sand that makes this rare ambush predator so hard to find. I can tell you from experience of having dove with them in Japan and in California. Witnessing their behavior, I'll tell you, they are so fascinating. They're super chill, perfectly camouflaged, and then suddenly lightning fast when they strike. Ask me how I know, because our friend Andy Murch actually got bitten by a clouded angel shark when we were there. But while these species may be relatively abundant, the Philippines angel shark is only known from a single specimen, and this was a small, immature female measuring just over a foot long. It had this greenish-brown body, covered in darker spots, outlined in pale edges, with subtle black markings near its dorsal fins. For an angel shark, this is pretty standard camouflage that's designed to help it completely disappear on the sea floor. This lone individual was discovered in 1995 on the 23rd of September during a deep-sea trawl off the coast of Luzon in the Philippines at depths
So,
of over
Doug,
12
you want to
feet.
watch fucking
That's
Trump's
way down
birthday
on the
party,
outer
fucking
continental
gladiator
shelf
battle?
in a dark, cold environment
You
that
hear
we
about the
barely ever
fucking Trump's
explore.
birthday
At
party
first
in
glance,
fucking 7
scientists
minutes?
actually thought it was just another similar-looking species to
UFC
the Taiwan angel
250
shark.
Freedom
But
on
years
the Lawn
later,
House.
after taking a closer
Yeah,
look
I want
at
to
its
stream it on
features,
fucking
such as
Discord,
the
dude.
spacing of its spiracles, the shape of its fins, and a few subtle
It's on now,
differences,
dude?
they realized it was a completely new species of angel
thought it
shark,
starts in 7
officially
minutes.
described for the first time in 2000.
The White House lawn.
Not yet. Since then, it's been very,
I want to
very
watch it,
quiet.
dude. Doesn't it
There
start
hasn't
soon?
been a second specimen found, and no one has ever seen it. But does the fact that it hasn't been seen
I don't
for so
have
long
Paramount
mean it's
on the
extinct?
computer.
Not really. Notoriously,
Oh, no, I got a
deep-sea species
website I
like
can
this
watch it
are
on, dude. I'll
very
stream it
hard
on
to study.
Discord.
And to make things worse, Philippines angel sharks live in the ocean thousands of feet down,
In
where
an hour
very
or
few
two.
surveys actually take place.
Oh, I thought it
Angel
starts at
sharks
8
by
p.m.
nature are masters of camouflage, and like we said before,
Oh, it starts at 8 p.m., dude.
8 p.m.
Ah, fuck. Yeah, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's New York time, right? Yeah. 8 p.m. That's in 6 minutes, dude.
Yes, so should be 7 my time.
It's 7:54 right now. So it starts in 6 minutes. That's crazy, dude. The White House lawn, dude. It's gonna be fucking crazy. I wonder if Trump's gonna be up on a throne or something, dude. Oh, dude.
they literally bury
Yeah, I'll stream it on
themselves in
Discord,
the sea
dude.
floor, leaving just their eyes exposed. So even if they are down there,
I mean, I wish
we
someone
could be
else would
easily
stream it,
missing
but
them. But at the same
that's alright,
time,
I'll stream it.
deep-sea trawling and longlining is a
On a
real
throne
concern.
looking down on
Since
all
these
his
sharks live
pillagers.
right in
Yeah,
the
like
zones
it's a
where fishing
gladiator
nets
battle,
drag
like it's
across the
Rome or
sea floor,
something, dude.
and if a population was
And
erased to
Elon
begin
Musk
with,
is sitting
it
beside
wouldn't
him.
take much to wipe it out before we even realized it was there. If we were ever going to find the shark again,
And they have like a
probably
they have like a
probably
midtime
be
show, but it's not a singer, just like a jester.
Like Lord Farquaad from Shrek.
Yeah, it's like the fucking medieval times. They have like a jester. Instead of a halftime show, they have like a fucking jester or something like that.
through deep-sea surveys using ROVs or BRUVs, or even another accidental troll catch. But until then, the Philippines angel shark remains one
Oh,
of the most
250
mysterious
years
Some of
of
you
the
may
sig-
die, but it is a risk I
shark
am willing
seen
to
once
take.
and never again.
250
Next
years
up,
of
a highly
fucking
venomous snake that was discovered
statue.
completely by accident and has only ever been seen once. This is one of the rarest pit vipers on the planet, hidden deep in the forests
shit.
of northeast India. Meet the Arunachal pit viper. Now, at first glance, this snake might not look like anything too crazy, since if you look at its top, it's got this brownish, dull coloration that blends perfectly into leaf litter on the forest floor. But along its sides and belly, it's got some glossy, striking reddish-orange color. It's such a weird contrast, and if you ask me, being a herpetologist, it's a pretty sick-looking snake. It gets up to around
Herpetologist?
26 inches long, and like most pit vipers, this species is also highly venomous, having a potent hemotoxic venom that causes severe pain, bleeding, and tissue damage. The story of its discovery is just as fascinating. Back in the early 2000s, during
Yeah,
a
that guy's not
biodiversity
walking with the
survey in
snake bite to the
Arunachal
foot.
Pradesh, a researcher named Rohan Pandit and a local guide from the Bungan tribe were hiking through a steep forest near a village when all of a sudden they spotted this brown snake sitting in the leaf litter. At first, they thought it was just another viper, but when they looked at it properly, it didn't quite match anything they'd ever seen before.
Yeah, she started
So,
3
like
minutes.
any sane biologist would, they collected it, brought it back, and took a proper look. And that's when they realized that it was something truly different. After detailed analysis, measuring its scales, studying its anatomy, and even running genetic tests, lo and behold, the scientists confirmed that this was an entirely new species of pit viper. And here's the craziest part. This was the first new pit viper species discovered from India in over 70 years. That's just insane. But since that one sighting, which is almost 10 years ago now, it still remains the only one scientists have ever found. We don't know how many of these snakes exist, we don't fully understand its behavior, and we don't even know if they're ground-dwelling. But I guess you could say that the good news is that the forest where it was found is still relatively intact. It's incredibly steep, hard to access, and only lightly disturbed by humans, which means there's a very real chance that more of these snakes are out there, but just that no one is crazy enough to go there and look for one. And honestly, that's probably the reason we haven't seen it again. Pit vipers are masters of staying hidden, and that's exactly like the copperheads, cottonmouths, and rattlesnakes that we have in the US. You could literally walk past one and never even realize it was there. If we're ever going to find the species again, it'll come down to more surveys in these remote forests, slowly flipping leaf litter, scanning the ground, maybe even working with local communities who know the land better than anyone. But until then, the Arunachal pit viper remains one of the most mysterious snakes in the entire world, seen once and then gone. Next up, a tiny, bizarre-looking seahorse that no one has ever seen alive in the wild, and might be one of the strangest seahorses that's ever been discovered, somewhere off the deep coast of Australia. Meet the bullneck seahorse. Now, seahorses are already pretty weird-looking, but this one takes it to another level. Fully grown, they're only about 2.
And let's do it on Discord, dude. UFC 230. Got the stream already, dude. I'll see you there, dog.
I got